don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending years and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, what you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm feeling kinda used, yeah, like a drug that you take when you're sick of crying all your tears away. Is that all I am? All I want is for you to be happy. You know this ain't healthy. Do I make you happy? How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending years and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, what you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm doing everything he doesn't do, but I'm still not enough. Even your parents know I'm good for you, but I'm still not enough. You wanna be done with him, you're stuck with him, 'cause you don't have the guts. And after all I've done, I'm still not enough. Still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another day of the ESL Challenger League, where we've got more fun headed your way. This time with a matchup between Nine and the Movistar Riders. I'm Darth Mike. This is Mr. Harvey Scriv Rogers joining me today. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I've not had a cast for a couple of weeks, so looking forward to getting into it. And I think this is probably the first time we're on the mic together in 4 years, 5 years, maybe.
No, we've definitely done some random days between
Yeah, we
that.
might have done. We might have done. But it has been a long time. It has been a long time for sure. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, the old school. We both sort of came into the scene at the very similar time, so it's always cool to link back up. But speaking of guys who've been around the scene for a long time, Movistar Riders, man, they're adjusting into the new game. They were looking very rough after the initial swad, but it seems like things are starting to calm down. Their last few results, starting to look a little bit better here.
An interesting year, I think, for this team for sure. So very much interested to see how they are. Let's have a little check in with the schedule though before we get into the teams themselves. Of course, there is another game going on over on the B stream side of things. Saw
Yeah.
versus Eyeballers. I think we've just mentioned a little bit, haven't we? Before we got started, there are so many games going on right now. In general, but also in the Challenger League. So you will be forgiven here, ladies and gentlemen, if perhaps you're not keeping up with everything at the moment.
Yeah, it's this is the endurance week. This is marathon week. There's Rubet, Thunderpick, CCT, all happening on top of ESL Challenger League still occurring. So teams are playing like three BO3s in a day. It's honestly kind of insane, but at the end of the day, they have done this to themselves to some degree. So I guess it's just, you don't have any scrims this week. It's all officials. Nine, Movistar on deck here. We were talking about with Movistar, Alex, Mopaz, Just, Martinez, Adams as well. You've got two players who've been with this team for 5 or 6 years, which is an eternity combined with the coach, on this roster. You've got Martinez, who's been there for a year, and then Justin Adams, who came in this latest shuffle, and they've been gelling, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It has taken a bit of time. You sort of mentioned that definitely with the swap over to CS2. But Martinez maybe as well started off kind of strong in that very first
Hmm.
game. I think he played against like Liquid in a pro league. Everyone was like, wow, this kid's going to be really good. And then it seemed like he'd maybe peaked too early. So it's been a weird sort of 6 months. Also, something worth mentioning is that their online results are really skewed compared to the LAN results. So
Sure.
they're a team in a weird sort of limbo at the moment. But it seems like things were taking a turn for the better. Just who came in, but recently I will say, the past week or two has not been fantastic. So I think there is some gel. There is definitely some potential that we're seeing from the Movistar Riders boys. But when it comes to the online games, they just seem to lack that same energy that they have on LAN.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. It's been the case for this team for a long time. Sort of the reverse of a lot of the rosters that we see competing at the ECL level, where they have that experience, they have that veterancy, and it actually elevates them when they get in person. Speaking about the other side of things, talking about Nine, right? This is a team that's been a lot of excitement for the revival of Polish CS. That's never quite been able to get over that line. But when we're talking at an ESL Challenger League level, this is a team that's perennially in playoffs. That's perennially among the top four, among the top dogs that have really made some strong campaigns in the past. So we're looking at them to be a really tough team, and I mean, again, just back online, back in the comfort point. This Nine roster, we know they are a very dangerous beast.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're sort of talking about here, I think at an ECL kind of level, they have looked fantastic, actually. Again, maybe a little bit of teething issues with getting CS2 going, right? They also came similar to Movistar Riders off the back of some CSGO crossover events and everything. So they couldn't quite get themselves into CS2 from day one. So it did take a bit of time, but more recently, past month or so, been looking fantastic against the likes of a Pomper, a Falcons, and Orcs. These are all teams that we have a few of those in ECL this season, of course, but you should expect them to be beating. The one big thing for Nine is that final hurdle. They'll put themselves up pretty well, usually on like a Vertigo or whatever in the big matchups, and then they
Mm.
will choke it out. Unfortunately, is the only way to really describe it. They seem to go missing when the pressure is on. But when it comes to these online games, when it comes to the ECL level, they perhaps play with less pressure, so it suits them better. And I think that this, for me, this Nine squad and the way they look at the moment are a contender to win this season.
Oh, most certainly. And I think there's a little bit of a parallel when we look at these rosters based on how they're constructed, right? You have a little bit more veterancy in the captain role for Minio. You've got Hades contrast with Martinez, two oppers who can really flash, who can really take over a map at times. When you look at to me, the interesting comparison point is a key to actually Mopas, where they're very hot and cold riflers, where sometimes they are just the greatest player on the server and there's nothing you could do to stop them. And other times they'll go missing for an entire map or an entire half, and you'll just have to kind of deal with it. So there's a lot of similarities actually between these two rosters, and certainly we've seen them, match up in some of the competitions that they've played. Not recently though, and it is kind of interesting to see the contrast between their styles. I feel like they play each other very similarly, if that makes sense. So could be an interesting one, especially with the shift into CS2, where I feel like neither team is really about that explosive style that we've seen thrive early on in Counter-Strike with online play in particular. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to each other.
Yeah, I think so. You're definitely getting into a really good point there, where I think both of these teams approach the game in a really similar way. It feels like for me, it's hard to pin down. It's like Movistar Riders, you can look world ranking, you can look LAN results and be like, oh, well, they'd be the better team. But then when it comes to the online games, Nine are kind of the better team. So it's really difficult, I think, in a game like this because they both have the potential, the experience, and the know-how to beat each other. But it just seems like environment might change that. But then Movistar Riders might wake up and give us one of those really solid LAN performances here, especially because this is going to be a big game in Group D itself, but also just for your longevity within ECL or your playoff prospects. So it's actually a really hard game to kind of predict in that sense, but just based on recent form and the way, again, things look really poor online for Movistar Riders, I think that Nine, not necessarily in the bag, but should be the favorites for this game.
Well, let's talk about the veto that we've got going on here, because there is some interest to this veto. Movistar going to take out Mirage, Nine take out Inferno. Makes sense. These are both teams perma at the moment. And Movistar picking to Ancient, which is an interesting one. And then Nine, of course, it's been presented to them. They're going to take it to Vertigo. As we know, Nine is the Vertigo specialist team. Our decider, should we get to it, is going to be Overpass. What do you make of these maps here, Scriv?
I think it realistically should go to 3, just because both teams have got their comfort pick. Movistar Riders have been really comfortable on Ancient. They were kind of specialists on that map for a little while. It's obviously been out long enough now that maybe they have lost that moniker. Nine, like you say, definitely when it comes to the big games, they're always in for Vertigo. They're always almost guaranteed, unless they're playing like a top 5 team, to win that Vertigo. The Overpass, it's a little difficult. That's where Movistar Riders, their pool gets shallower, let's say, and isn't as clean. But what I will say is the Ancient is one where, again, Nine, they have a lot of reps on it. It might not be the best map for them, but I think they certainly do have the experience there. So Movistar Riders are going to have to come in with their A game from minute one if they are wanting to take this map cleanly, especially with shorter games at the moment and the way that we're seeing the economy really snowball. If Nine are able to get in early, it could be very scary here for the Movistar Riders team.
Kind of an interesting note I just took a look at. Unexpected. Nine haven't actually played Vertigo since the swap to CS2. No one's allowed them to get it through a veto. So this is the first Vertigo they've actually been able to get through a veto since the swap to the new game, which is kind of interesting. Nothing has really changed on Vertigo. They haven't moved anything around. There's a few new broken bugs, but theoretically you're not supposed to exploit those. So that shouldn't impact anything. But yeah, this could actually be interesting. Let's see if Nine still have the magic touch on Vert in CS2 here.
Yeah, I think definitely going to be interesting to know whether they have that kind of prowess. I don't know. Which way are you leaning with where the teams are at? I think I'm going Nine at this point.
I think Nine's probably the prudent choice for the reasons that you stated before of Movistar kind of dipping. But to me, it's like 51-49, right? Like, I just really don't know. And at some point, Nine are going to get trap gamed on Vertigo, because obviously they've got a million games on tape on this map. I don't think this is that point because, again, with the aforementioned million games that you're playing a day right now, I don't think anyone's doing a whole lot of opponent prep because their poor analysts would have to never sleep. But at some point, somebody's going to finally stop the Vertigo specialists. It could be now. Movistar's not a bad Vert team. I don't know. It'd be interesting. What I do know is that we're going to take a little break here. And when we come back, it'll be time for map number 1.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Break up, don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, hurt you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So what still not enough. You wanna be done with him, you're stuck with him, 'cause you don't have the guts. And after all I've done, I'm still not enough. Still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left here refusing. That you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue?
Oh, hello there, everybody. Ready to get underway with a little bit of ancient Movistar riders. Going to be important that they put their best foot forward because, of course, in this series, Vertigo holds a little bit of an edge, shall we say. Looks like straightforward B play early on. Not really hiding their intentions. They're at least going to take control outside of main, and nope, they go in. Full commit, no hesitation, no second guessing. 3 players already here for the defense, and no one clears Cubby, so Hades, he feasts.
Solid defense. I think they were very ready for that, weren't they? The way they were set up, and indeed the B rush on the pistol, relatively common. So I think they just sort of set up for it. And then you see they have the kit, they have the smoke. They were prepared for an A retake, right? It's pretty part and parcel from 9, and it all just works out. As you mentioned, nobody checking Cubby. So that's going to be a disaster. Big man Adam trying to take some heads here if he can, but I don't think there's really anything for him. And it is, once again, Cubby to finish it off, just to rub salt in the wound there. Very clean pistol. Fantastic start from 9.
You are going to love to see that if you're 9 early on. But what do we get for the Movistar? No bomb plant. It means it's likely a Glock round. Single flashbang picked up. How can they maximize this? What are we going to get? A mid-fight? Don't really know. Where do you go with the single flashbang on this map?
Probably mid would have been the logic, but that doesn't seem like that's where they're going to go. Maybe like a cave move. It would seem, based on the minimap, that they are hoping someone pushes in to try and take some control, and then they will flash in to just overwhelm that player. But I don't know that 9 are really going to get that greedy. I suppose we'll see now. They have spotted someone out towards bridge. And Alex is very, very ready with that flash in hand.
But trying to bait them in further, right? Trying to show light presence. The problem is the range fight does not really give the flash a chance to work. Molotov on, now they're engaging, now they move, pull the trigger, through the molly, try and get on towards the site, and it's a hail of bullets. Cut down like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It's not happening here, but they'll go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, I mean, you're always happy to get that frag. Not really expecting too much out of that round. Does seem to be very much the norm as well, worth mentioning. That everyone's going for these second round eco, third round rifle buys. We sort of saw a lot of teams toying with it towards the end of Go. Seems to be the norm pretty quickly into CS2, just again because you have less rounds and that whole mini situation just feel like this. Maybe we'll get that, maybe we won't, but for the time being, this is the way that teams are opting to go for it. Great utility at the start of the round from 9, I have to say, getting that mid control within one player. Oh, I would have said is pretty much perfect, but Mopos goes very fast through their own smoke as well. Really just catching that player off towards middle.
There's a Mopos effect. He was playing well earlier today. Let's see if he can keep doing it. No one clears backside. Seen a couple of these oversights early on from Movistar. Gotta be a bit careful. Mopos gets one more before he's traded, so he's done his work in this round. But Minio up in the temple. No one eyes on. Again, no one eyes on is the big concern. Now the tree player is holding it. Martinez is ready, so enough time to settle down. Key was going for a very long flank. Kind of feel like he was just trying to save, so maybe not on the same page with his teammate. And certainly not going to attempt it in this round now. Might be worth keeping them close, see if they can go down with a bomb. He's picked the right side if that's his intention. Comes. Going to be cut down. Economic pain could be on deck. I think Just might be a goner already. He is going to get the kill and just about survive the bomb.
It's a banger flash, but timing just wasn't quite there in the end. Really nice from Movistar Riders. Keep it simple. Find that first pick. Quick towards A, right? They recognize that they've taken down either the cube player or the one mid player. And I think A was their intention anyway. So it just all fell into place very nicely. But tough for the Poles. Very tough indeed to really do anything about that at the end of the day. I think it would have been nice to commit to the save a bit earlier. That's sort of the one thing I'd maybe take away from that round. Maybe give them some pressure into this one, but not going to be the case. So Movistar Riders, we talked about best foot forward. That's about the best way you can do it.
Certainly is. Certainly is. Spacing towards cave. Now it's a full stack out from 9, right? This is ideal scenario for them. Heavy B main presence, but again, that window fight just going to work out so well against pistols. Keeping them at arm's reach, never in doubt. And you keep your money growing.
Yeah, solid stuff. We've got to see what the response is going to be from 9 then. So far,
no
lacking the AWP, which is a little problematic, yeah. And Hades, in fact, is very poor, so
Scout?
gun-wise, it's not going to be great. Wow.
All right.
Huh.
No Yudi. He'll risk it.
Yeah. It's not the worst on Ancient, right? Like, you don't need as much utility for a retake, say. A lot of it comes out early on in the round, so it's not the end of the world.
Look at this.
It's like A anchor as well.
These chain flashes into mid are killer. There's no one there to receive them, but if there was a CT who would push in to defend, you just never get to see. The first 20 seconds of the round, you don't see anything. That's brutal. Now they got Adams pushed forward. That's going to be a key piece for Lei. You can tell Kyler has to focus in on it, but if he's distracted by the hit on towards B, it'll be the perfect time for the backstab.
Yeah, they're set up quite nicely, actually. Just a case of how they deal with these players on the extremities. Key, the Molotov, not quite going to reach him. Could be a pretty big deal. I don't know if Mopos is savvy to that. He's obviously not charging forwards here, so maybe he is. Gonna call for some support. No, he just goes straight in, though. Yeah, really not expecting Key to be there. Thought that the Molotov would have done the job. Potential for a double here. Key with a positional change. Got some support as well. The support falls pretty quickly. And that could have been beautiful. It ends up being quite ugly. In fact, Movistar Riders really should not have come away with the advantage there.
Yeah, it's a massive recovery, right? Keep your calm in a dire situation, a tough spot. This elbow push could be huge from Hades, but it's all about timing, and he's missed it. So they're into Donut already. They're going to be headed towards the site. That means they just really have to defend Minio. Good timing on the util from the captain, and the spam makes good. But Hades, now they're holding for him, and that's the problem. The utility that he had eyes on, though, Minio continues to find kills without even seeing anybody. Talk about a master utility class. They haven't?
Be a little bit tight. I don't even think they would have got it on time. Well, maybe. He does make it into the bomb site, but obviously with a player ready to go. Oh, God. Not going to survive either after the time there. So, yeah, I don't know. You are a bit desperate, I guess, in that situation.
I didn't watch to see if he got clocked. I don't think he did. I think he got killed right before that timer ran out. So, I mean, the thing is, right, even though you lose that round, the economic damage here is going to make it very difficult for 9. They're only one player surviving. Cash is going to be light. Hades is on an XM. You've got 2 MP9s out. It is CS2. XM seems to be the gun of the game.
Yes. Yes.
But still not exactly a fun round for Hades.
No, and he has been left worse for wear in terms of the buy the past few rounds, which I think is really not what you want. He is a pivotal part of this team. Far and away the best player. So, really not the best look. Yeah, I don't know, man. Smoke goes down at a good time, I suppose. Keep him at bay for now. Call on some support, but yeah, he has to go huge from here.
They pop the smoke, and he pops there. Heads damage done. Hades chewing him up, but Kylar can't hold on for longer. So an even exchange there is A-OK as far as the Movistar Riders are concerned. K trying to make some noise, but Molly will prevent them from doing anything further. That bomb's going down. And Mopa is committing in the smoke. That's ambitious. ambitious to do it before the bomb is planted as well. Now they're in a tough spot to actually get these numbers punched in. And Goofy gets the punish. All into Martinez. Spots the first. That's a ripper of a shot. For one more, knows exactly where he's coming from. And against the SMG, there's just no doubt in Martinez. He is so sure of his aim.
That was nice. That was clean. That's the maybe the Pika's advantage coming into play a little, but especially on that first kill. But really big 1v2. It felt like a round that had swung back in favor with that Goofy frag in particular, but they just weren't together, you know. And the Temple player unfortunately gets a bit giddy. I think he had to rely on the fact that they didn't know where he was, but just revealed himself and obviously lost his head for that. It's unlucky. It is somewhat unlucky. That's how it goes, right? That's how it goes when you're in the crunch. You sometimes get it wrong and have that confidence in yourself that sometimes is a bit misplaced. So, unfortunate, but a really big 1v2.
There'll be some opportunities in this for the Deegs. He in particular is a guy who's dangerous with the hand cannon. But for the moment, Movistar Riders taking their time with it, as we would expect from them.
Quieter one than I think we were expecting, looking at where the buys are at. Martinez will break that silence, and Mopos has got a free push in round the side, so it looks like the B-bomb site should be easily taken here. Key remains, and the Deagles are always capable of something. Meanwhile, in towards middle, they have an idea that there's a guy around here. Oh, CZ at that range is not ideal, but Hades pulls it off. What is on the defense? Not an awful lot, unfortunately, so just two remaining. I think they perhaps will hold on to what they have, particularly Hades. With that armor, Minio might try for some $600 kill bonus.
Yeah, a little bit of extra cash here would go a long way to give them something to work with in the next.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see if he does.
Money-wise, it's a bit weird, isn't it? I think we might have had a couple of players overspend, so I don't know what the plan is in this follow-up round, to be honest. Loss bonus has been a bit back and forth. Don't fully have access to the scoreboard, so I'm not entirely sure. It's, I think, about 1,900, so it's not really...
Yeah, I think this is second or third stage.
Yeah, so a bit strange, to be honest, with the economic decisions, but...
I think some players were probably double eco, so they just went a little light in their half buy. But you're running out of rounds a little bit here. Reminder, if you're just now learning about Counter-Strike 2, we are MR12 now. MR12. So we are most of the way through the half at this point. Over the halfway mark. Not too many more rounds to go. 5 of them, to be specific. If you're one of those math-minded people. So not a lot of teeth in this round for 9. Very conservative on the buy. You can tell they want the op up, and even with Kylar's save, he might be going for the double up next round. Pop the smoke. Pop the head.
Oh,
and why not? A little more for the captain of the squad. And so all the danger in this round is being taken right out of it.
they actually handled that really well. Look at where all your X's are, right? There were 4 players in and around the B bomb site. So very well handled to only lose the 1, I would say. Maybe expecting a bit more out from 9 with the position that they had, particularly with Alex's antics, I guess we can call them. But yeah, Movistar Riders looking pretty good, aren't they? Once the guns have come into play, they're in full control. Gonna be a weird little fight here in through the smoke. Alex so blind. I think he just made a step for Goofy to spin around there. And now Mopos doesn't really know where to look either. You know, is he going forward?
But look at this.
Backwards. This
He's through.
Is so strange.
They're not going to know. He's going to be through. He's going to clear the site. He should have Kylar did the rights. Kylar's now, getting wise to it. Kylar, great awareness. Where's the second player? Where's the Mopos? Why haven't we seen him yet? That is the spidey sense of Kylar saving them. Because if he doesn't, suddenly the 2 B main players are sandwiched, right? As this push comes back through the doors. This could have been so bad for 9, but Kylar has just saved them. And now what do you do if you're Movistar? You've got nothing to show for it. You're going into a 3v5 against basically a resurrected default. You need a quick kill. Goofy might give it to Adams. He knows the player's jiggling here and got much closer than Goofy expected he'd be able to. Should have a pretty good idea there's a player here in cave, but just can't finish the kill. First one's found. Need to deal with the cave presence. While he's late, numbers will be punched in, and Adams is having himself a round. Is it enough to get them over the line? Or can Kylar bail them out once more?
This is so touchy. There's no way. There's no way. Nine were in such a good position here, and it has just slipped through their fingers like sand, man. Minio in between the two of them. I suppose that is something you might be able to get a drop here on one of the players, but no. Shadow comes around the corner. Martinez will hold it. That is crazy. That is so crazy. 3v5 pulled off by Movistar Riders. Only losing one player in said 3v5. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. The 9 defense is crumbling before our very eyes.
It is. Martinez is looking incredibly sharp as an individual as well. I mean, the shooting is just impeccable, and he hasn't even picked up the ult, right? Not going to pick it up T-side, it seems. Can't say I blame him, especially in this iteration of the game. A lot of teams weren't even on pick T-side in Go, much less 2. Adams as well showing up. Nice early exchange. Just a little bit more invested in this round. Not loving all these half buys for 9, frankly. But they're starting to feel a little desperate, it seems.
Yes. There are less rounds, as we will continue to reiterate for a while, but still only picking up 3 of them does not feel good.
No.
So I think it's a weird mental position to be in where it's like, well, you know, the gap's a bit smaller, right, guys? But the fact that you've only, well, yeah, 1 rifle round, right? Like two of these coming off the back of the pistol. So it really is not good from 9 when you get it under the microscope, so to speak.
It's interesting as well, right? If you're looking at the way most maps have shifted into favor the attack, that's just straight spam. Well done from Goofy. Does it allow for something here? Still shouldn't be anything brewing here. There's enough utility to keep them at bay. Much less the gun advantage.
We'll see. 3 of them coming in together. If they trade well, there is a world that could be done. Nice little flasher. Just throw them off, but just cannot capitalize. Now it comes down to playing this bomb, of course, right? Already halfway ticked. No kits available. No ball strikes from the side. Martinez keeps his cool, continues to find frags, and they deal with the situation cleanly. We would say damage good, but it's the end of the half. It doesn't matter. They need the rounds themselves, and that continues to be harder and harder, it would appear.
Yes, plenty of cash. So what I was trying to say is most maps in CS2 have shifted to be attacking sided, right? Because you just peeker's advantage right now, especially in online play, is absurd. So if you're the player initiating the contact, you tend to have a good edge. I think Ancient might be the only one where I'd make the argument to the contrary. I think the shifting up of the spawn back forward allows for that deep mid control again, and makes it very tough to really, you know, pick your battles as the Ts. In the first 30 seconds of the round, it's all about the CTs initiating contact.
Yeah, for sure. And I do feel, we touched on this a little bit in the pregame, 9 maybe struggling to move over into that. They like to play far back, you know, let the action come to them. And something actually as well that really exacerbates that problem is the fact that Hades has been without an orb until this round. He's finally got one. They take their time out. They know now they have almost no excuses to not win a round. So they really have to make this work and bring it as close as they can.
And interesting that they've shifted up his position as well. He's mostly been playing A anchor with the guns, right? But now that with the big green, he's back at the site. There's been a lot of pressure B ramp early, so they want the op in maximum position to have impact. And actually, Movistar pumped the brakes in this one, knowing that if they win this, the map feels just about done. Critical piece here. Kylar under pressure. Mid going to be lost now. The delayed mid take is good. Smoking towards red. Kylar stuck in donut. Calling for flashes to try and get something back doing. They're coming his way. It's inevitable.
This is so scary for Kylar, man. Even just getting one doesn't feel like enough from this position this late on in the round. And he's going to go down instantly, bro. He doesn't even get a bullet off. Really not a great look. And yeah, you can see Movistar Riders again because of how late it is, they're able to play the mind games, pulling back a little bit. The trade is there. Hades also spots nobody else out in towards Donut.
That's massive.
Martinez, he's so advanced though, isn't he, right? Key doesn't expect him at all. Who's going to try for the trade, but also goes down. What is this guy on right now? 13-3. I hadn't even noticed it was that high. But the past 3-4 rounds from him, the impact this man has had has just been absolutely worth its weight in gold. And they are forced to save. Oh, it's beautiful Counter-Strike right now from the Movistar Riders.
It really is. You get that kill donut. You know that brings pressure on towards A. The ops shifted over. You read based on that the lean's on towards A, even though you lose the body. Martinez takes the space. It's just a push and pull. It's a brutal push and pull to be on the other side of. And this is the problem with 9 playing back, right? With 9 hesitating. They don't have map control. Which means that Movistar can shift them around at their will. There's no answers right now for the Polish team. They tried to take a timeout. They had some ideas there for how they wanted to play. It seemed to hinge largely on the B setup, right? The A players were designed to delay. The mid control was designed to delay. Couldn't do that. So what do you do here? Minimal buy, limited weaponry, SMGs presumably out, maybe FAMI. Gotta do something aggressive. There's just no other options afforded to you.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. And they've already used the 2 of the 3 timeouts here as well. The first one didn't really have any impact. Maybe comes a bit too late. This one is also very late. They are scrambling. They really are scrambling. So it's kind of wild to see. We expected a bit of a closer competition from this map. See whether that happens on the flip side, but so far 9 have been flat, and that is putting it nicely. That is putting it in terms of broadcast terms. So we will see here whether they're able to pick up this 4th, or whether Movistar Riders, like you mentioned, start to hammer in this map going their way. Quieter than we thought, I think, to be honest. Maybe wanted a bit more out from 9 in terms of the aggression, but they have really not picked up very much. They tried a little bit there with Key, but again, it's just lacking in the energy, and Opos is able to capitalize on that, you know? Ground not being taken, he's like, I'll walk right in here. I'm confident enough to do that.
They've been having a lot of success with the slow peaks. Goofy, okay, all right. The trap is set, and somehow from the ramp, he's getting it done. He's taking out the real boss of the server right now in Martinez, and we've got a flank developing in Kylar. They're aware, our Movistar. Okay, we've killed 2 on B. We have to have forced a response on a rotation. Take mid. Look at Adams. This is going to be so brutal for Minio. He has to be aware of it, but he's dropped down, and now they have no ability to even rotate towards A. This is destruction once again. Movistar Riders just manipulating 9. Okay, you stopped us on B. We know you have SMGs, though. You're going to have full rotated. Everyone's going to be off site. We're calling your bluff.
Yeah, super tough. Minio just kind of gets gun diff, doesn't he, really? He actually dishes a fair amount of damage, but what can you do with that MP9? And, like, they are going to go for this, but it does just feel they have so much ground to pick back up. We'll see. Just hidden away, trying to get some good timing here. Brings it down to a 1v1. Not the healthiest 1v1 in the world. Mopos does have time on his side. There's a hold coming round. He goes in for the jump peak, gets Kylar off the bomb. He's just going to play the mind games. Is there enough time? I don't quite think so. It's going to be close. Maybe. Oh, my
No, he got
goodness. Oh, damn. That is huge. That is a huge round that might just give 9 the energy that they need moving forwards. We are, of course, going to take a break here, folks. Don't go anywhere. Maybe this will be the turning of the tide for the Polish side. Find out in a few.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Well, they didn't quite find 9 rounds, but a 4th at least on the board thanks to the heroics of Kylar at the tail end of the half. Is that enough to inject the energy back into Ancient? We're going to find out. They're picking the right side early on. B stack from Movistar. Retake A setup. And only one man to contend with. Just's Crosshair. All that they'll need to cross to secure a bomb plant in this pistol.
It's kind of smart. I like it in the fact that, you know, we talked all about the commonality of B rushes. This is certainly, a bit different, but just at range is hella crisp. That might just be enough, to be honest with you. 3 remaining bombers yet to really go down. And they are putting a pause on getting that plant as well. In fact, with the bomb carrier being in Temple, could get dangerous if he goes down. Everybody isolated on the 9 side, though. Wow. Flawless pistol, 4K from Just, and Movistar Riders, they are now in that prime position, baby.
Look, man, you can set one guy with the whole site to defend if he's going to do it like that. Zero hesitation. Beautifully done. And, yeah, starting to think about Vertigo if you're 9. I mean, good luck. No bomb plant, no force spy. Another one of these Glock grounds with few solutions. Not really a map that lends itself to it. They'll try the straightforward A play. Hope that Movistar play light here, but the Donut player's about to hear this. Oh, yes, he does. Just knows what's coming. And look at the rotation. Look at the swarm coming in from Movistar Riders. They're everybody here. A little awkward. They're making a bit of a hash of this. More expensive than it needed to be. Full commit in. Trying to get these ecos. What's happening here? He's ringing the Glock a certain dominance, so that is far more expensive than it needed to be. Alex, can you find a gun? Yes, you can.
Goodness me. That was not very pretty at all. God. And you expect, like, the MP9s to chew through unarmored opponents. Sometimes, like, the M4 doesn't quite have a high enough fire rate to deal with, like, 2 or 3 guys at once. So you can let them off, I guess, but yeah. SMGs should be easily getting through them there. Okay, saved from embarrassment, everybody on a rifle in this round, so no harm, no foul. They are somewhat lacking in the utility, particularly Adams, who has no utility, in fact. I think he splurged most of it in the start of the round, but still, he's not fully spent into this round, I don't think. So they are really looking to get the rifles working, and they might get those rifles working quite quickly here. Martinez round the corner. Oh, trying to line him up. He does a lot of damage, though, doesn't he? Surely has set up for somebody else to have a multi-track moment. Bombs hit the deck in front of the CTs as well. And the remaining two players are out on B. What is this?
Yeah, I don't really understand what Hades and Key were supposed to be doing here, right? Like, are they trying to distract focus from the rest? Are they trying to... That's just ugly. We won't talk about that, Hades. It's okay. You're an opper. You get to get away with one of those every once in a while. That was atrocious. But genuinely, like, okay, the idea behind clearly the A pressure early on, that makes sense to me. You know that Movistar play A light. You know that they play like max one actually committed to the site. You're trying to take that space. You're frankly fairly successful in the exchange, at least until the initial. What are the B players doing? They're not holding rotations. They're not taking space. They're not doing anything with it. They're just holding for a push, I guess. They don't have the bomb with them. It's not like they can bait off of the A rotation. Something was wrong there, and I don't know what it was. Just as a heads up to our watching audience, for some reason, the latest patch has broken Molotovs on our mini-map. Don't worry. They're not off-screen, off-map, here, there, and the other. They are where they're supposed to be. It's not so much on the mini-map. Mini-yo. Mopaz give you a little fright there?
Yeah, is he allowed to be up there? Or... Can you get on top of that light now, is that...
I think so. I mean, clearly you can.
Well, yeah.
He wasn't boosted up there.
I don't know if he's, you know what I mean? If it's a little buggy spot. Like
nah,
on
if it's an actual object, it's not a pixel boost, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Pressure on. They've gotten into donut. It's not jam filled, but it is 9 filled. Alex right on the angle. He's got 2. Huge play from Alex the third as well. Give him the hat trick and the bomb in his grasp. Adams can't quite live up to his captain's example, but 40 seconds on the round. They have to fully commit to just trying to get this man out, and Alex is not allowing them an inch. Key will quickly follow. What a play, what a round. Backed into a corner, terrible spot, and he makes a dream of it.
Pretty much all the Movistar Riders players have had a moment, you know? We saw just at the start of this half, we've just seen Alex there. Martinez, of course, was the man of the hour towards the end of that T side. Mopaz and Adam feel ever consistent. And then, yeah, just some really nice moves, I think, 9. Although they have struggled and they've not had the best games, I think we're also seeing that peak of Movistar Riders that we talked about that we know they are capable of. It just seems to be missing sometimes. Kylar with a, again, wild kind of desperate play. Movistar are playing well, but 9 there, not necessarily helping themselves, let's say. Mopaz is a little trapped. It's the boys to come and bail him out. Oh, kissing in the smoke. Oh, goodness. Minio knows what's up. He knows that there shouldn't be an object there and does manage to find him. 4 versus 3, though, still in favor of Movistar.
They're hemmed in as well. I mean, the bomb theoretically has the bailout option, but it's just holding the flank. They still want to commit this in towards B. Can't really fault them either. Mopaz is a bit of a tough fight here. Just trying to jiggle and drop the smoke, avoid dying. If he goes down, life is very difficult for Martinez. But he stays alive, very importantly. And so they'll stall out a little bit further. Martinez trying to catch the bomb in transition there. He gets the information and he's away.
Yeah, I think they know they don't have to go in too deep. There's only 35 seconds. Again, not a lot of control for 9. Really don't have to mess up this opportunity that you have now, of course, to close the game out in a really hardy kind of fashion. Oh, saying that. Looking to get cheeky. Minio knows what's up with the pre-fight. Didn't even hear him step, right? Just goes in for the frag, and it's all too easy. Looking good, though, on the retake. However, when the next 2 50-50s come in, just going to be Hades alone. Can't get it done, and Movistar Riders with a nigh-on flawless game. One of the cleanest maps of CS2 I think I have casted thus far.
Really? Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, just it's everything that you want. We were talking about how these two teams are not two teams that necessarily have adapted to the CS2 style of relying on the guns. It's been more about the team play. That was team play, right? Movistar manipulated 9, outmaneuvered 9, out-rotated 9, always seemed to have the advantage. Even when they were down in numbers, they managed to control it, corral it, bring it back in. That was a masterclass from Alex calling. Obviously, the individuals step up. You have big rounds from everybody, it feels like. But at the end of the day, the thing that puts these individuals in a place to succeed is that they just led 9 around like they had them as a marionette on the end of strings. The good news for 9 is we're headed to Vertigo, the map that they feel most comfortable on in the world. So let's see if there's still going to be the Vertigo Masterclass in Counter-Strike 2. We'll find out after this break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Break up, don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and he's blurring your vision. You know he told that you take when you're sick of crying all your tears away. Is that all I am? All I want is for you to be happy. You know this ain't healthy. Do I make you happy? How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears in this blurry of vision. You know we don't love you. What you holding on to? Scream through the phone even though we won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left here with you. Said that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm doing everything he doesn't do, but I'm still not enough. Even your parents know I'm good for you, but I'm still not enough. You wanna be done with him, you're stuck with him, 'cause you don't have the guts. And after all I've done, I'm still not enough. Still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left here with you. Said that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue?
And we're back in it here with Vertigo. Thanks for bearing with us for that slightly elongated break. We do have 9 though on Vert, the Vert specialists. Let's see if they live up to it. This is their first Vertigo in Counter-Strike 2. So that adds some intrigue. Flashbangs over the lip. They're in towards B, just playing retake. It's a kind of a rinse repeat of what we saw on Ancient. This time he's only gonna get 1 though, not the 4K. But Adams is there quickly for the trade. Bomb should be down, but look at this. They've hesitated, and the moment might be lost. He wanted his teammates in here to help him out. He's going to get the numbers punched in, so that's important. But the retake is swift, and it's merciless. It's all on Goofy, who's got to bail out, who's running. Does not want to get run down here early. Oh, it's not feeling good, and indeed it won't be. Pistol round claimed by the Movistar Riders. They're right back to their winning ways.
I don't like it, Mike. I don't like it. That didn't look fantastic. I think there was a moment in there, right, where 9 gained some ground on the B bomb site, but there was a call. You know, they still had this guy sort of coming from mid, and I didn't quite catch who it was, but the second player alongside Key on that B bomb site seemed like wanted to get out, right? Take a reset, maybe try and go A quickly, and then Key said, "I can't go anywhere, guys. I'm committed here. You know, if I try and cross, they're probably going to kill me. There's probably going to be a number of guys," and he was indeed correct that there were a number of guys ready for him. So already feels a little messy in terms of the calls there. The initial move in was decent. Yeah, they go 2 for 1, but just seems very, very unsure, and it's not a great sign. I think we are seeing some remnants of that first map.
That's a couple quick kills, though. This would go a long way. Key gets another one as well. Just solo working the A site. This is disastrous now for Movistar. Just looking for some damage to get back in. It's not going to happen. Alex is left to just figure out what to do with himself now. Can he even save? It's so far away. And Goofy's on the angle. That's a cheeky bit of play. I think he may have actually made the footstep to bait somebody into playing on the angle with him. All right, Alex, let's not get overzealous with the throwing away of guns. They got plenty of guns. That's not going to make a difference, bud.
Yeah. Difficult, very difficult. I think a very early wake-up call to the Vertigo effect for 9, right? A lot of 1v1 attempts from Movistar Riders, and it gets away from them. They lose out on these fights where maybe they were winning them on the previous map. So a bitter taste, and it's never nice to lose the force buy. Well done from 9, though, just getting their individuals working, and this should give them a nice springboard now. Yeah. What do you do if you're Movistar Riders here, right? You just have to ride this wave, unfortunately. We did see 9 play around with the econ, but it seems like Movistar have fully forced in.
Yeah, they do have to ride this wave, but I feel like, you know, there might be some Cowabunga surfers among them. I think 9's got to be a little careful about this one. Initial exchange there, not great for Alex. But we've seen this before. 9, very timid in a lot of these rounds in terms of space taking. Certainly makes sense against the pistols. You don't want to get caught by the stack. And they do appear to have the right read. There's no one on B. Movistar have played super light towards this site. They've opted to go for the double mid push. They've spotted a player. But now how do they read this? They're going to go back in towards B. The execute's coming in. 9 haven't actually gotten a kill yet. Bit of a barbecue commitment there from Just, and they will rock into a very lightly defended site.
Should be easy enough.
Just up.
Ooh, I like it. Finally get the boost. Oh, and they get taken down on their way out. Adams gets a kill on the opposite side of the map towards the bottom end of the ramp there, actually. So just going to be a save. Adams found himself an M4, I should say. All the same, nothing really coming here for Movistar Riders.
Could do some more damage on this hunt. Certainly worth throwing something at this to see if they can get the M4 out of Movy's hands. Does he realize how close Goofy is? No, he does not. Uppercut shot there. Gun lost. Upgrade for Goofy. not even really worth saving that MP9, and Mopaz won't be able to. So should be very little to nothing in this round, and 9 on the map that they consider home. Finding themselves a solid foundation here. 20 injuries. Was someone just jumping off the side of the map in warm-up?
Yeah, perhaps. That's quite high. That is quite high. I think someone might have just been sending it, you know? It's a good way to reset the mental, I heard. It's
an unsafe work space. This needs to be shut down. 20 job site accidents. Come on now. We need some government bodies stepping in. Kylar going to be trying to step into some ecos, and he's going to do so quite well. There's at least a blemish on the permanent record, but yeah, it's just going to let the upgrade along from the Galil, so not really a big issue for 9.
Okay, so back into the action now, right? Really important round, first proper rifle. We'll see. 9, is the Vertigo effect in full swing, or Movistar Riders going to be able to hold them off at least for a little while longer? And absolutely paramount in the early stages of this half. It will really quickly snowball if this round does not go the way of this defensive side. Solid early pickup. So that's always a good sign. Just let's have some support here on this push. Him and Mopaz looking for a bit of information. Kylar has to be careful, but really deep into B there. That's the smoke going down as well. It's a little bit of a bait play. Nade comes round. I'm not sure whose it was, but it results in another frag for the Movistar Riders. Another bit of damage as well. Goofy, though, has found the gap, and the gap is in towards middle. Minio catches another. Really well read here from 9. Fantastic response to that B aggression.
It's just night and day, man. It's just night and day. 9 on Vertigo versus 9 on every other map. This is exactly the stuff we were looking for on Ancient. Responses, reading, taking the initiative. They still do like to play patient in the early rounds, don't get me wrong. That's fine. That's a philosophical difference. But when it's time for action, they're there. Just, They needed like a psychological coach, or maybe just a hypnotist. Hear me out. All right, hear me out here, Scrib.
Okay.
Get a hypnotist before every match, before every map rather. Hypnotize all the players into thinking the map is Vertigo. Win every match.
I mean, it's possible. You know.
Hear me out, 9. Make it happen. Worth the funds. Hypnotist cannot be that expensive.
Well, maybe before every map it might stack up.
Well, presumably you just pay a daily retainer, right?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure with the finances of a hypnotist, to be fair. It's not
I'm
my
not going to lie, I'm checking party hypnotist rates. This would be in Pennsylvania. Okay. I'm going to assume in Poland they might be a little more affordable.
Right. I am very curious now.
Okay, some of these are very expensive.
Problematic.
Some of the cheaper ones, cheapest one, $250 per event.
Yeah.
Most expensive I'm seeing is like $1,400 per event.
And when you're playing every day, you know, that is going to be
this
tough.
could run up. But presumably you can get them on a retainer.
For a little bit cheaper. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've just found a guy who's a hypnotist who's named Marshall Manlove. That's a name.
That is a name. All right. Minio in for a double. Martinez has held towards the top end here. Certainly potential for him to take a couple of names, but the round itself looks like it has indeed been won out. And as I mentioned, that first rifle round, absolutely paramount to where the scoreline is at now. 5-1 is pretty terrifying this early on into the half, with only 6 more rounds to go after this. So, yeah, not looking too hot if you are Movistar Riders. They really have to turn this shit around.
Ooh, that's maybe one way to do it. Hard over to port. Brings just, and okay, never mind, he's dead. So this round probably done. Martinez should probably save. Not quite being able to have the impact he did on Ancient. you could sort of see, we've talked about it quite a bit with Movistar Riders, but Mopaz's performance tends to be a little bit of a temperature check for how the team's doing. 0-6 right now. So ice cold is the team. Ice cold is the Mopaz. Not a great sign for the Spanish squadron. Still, they should have a buy up in the next. This AK gives them a little something to keep over as well. Curious to see if they go for the AWP on this one. You would expect it. However, there are time to get into it. You know, it's funny. Just the pacing with the change to MR12. I feel like in MR15, I used to almost mentally discount the first 6 rounds of a game because so often a team would just need to warm up or need to get in economically or whatever it is. But now that half the half is gone.
Yeah. No, it makes a massive difference. I think it was one of the things that was touched on very early into the life cycle of CS2. The fact that this, especially on the T side with where the economy is, this springboard can just be massive. And, you know, look at where their cash is at. It's going to take a solid 3 rounds to get that economy broken. And even then, if they're bomb planting consistently, etc., they may well be able to scrape together a buy in that theoretical 4th round. So you have so much work to do that it almost feels insurmountable. So like I said, Movistar Riders have to not only win this round, but the next and the next, and they all have to be clean, make sure you're getting decent buys. So you just have to be a completely different team if you want to get back into this game.
Fascinating that Martinez didn't pick up the op as well. That's really interesting. Definitely had the money for it. I mean, you can see he still has 4,300 in his pocket. So that's a very interesting decision made. He's got the duel with Hades, but manages to dodge the bullet. Could just be a facet of the way 2 is playing right now. But you just don't want to deal with that op, even on a CT side. A lot more dynamic with the AK. Ramp spin conceded. They're fading back off of it, having shown presence. That utility might be a little too late. They're being pushed back, but there's the lineup. Oh, a TK comes through as well. So Martinez putting that AK to great effect. Now pressure onto the site itself. Man advantage from Movistar. Something we haven't been able to say much of this game.
We'll still get the bomb down. This is not totally over just yet. The A retake as well. So difficult. Oh, big swing from Goofy. Loses out on the fight. Perfect timing here from Mopaz. Seals the deal. Absolutely seals it, but a clean retake from Movistar Riders. Exactly what they needed. And yes,
they don't want it.
Enough. Yeah, not going to pick up that up.
They don't want it. Movistar Riders are not playing with the op on Vertigo. Wow, 2 chances, 2 different players look at it. So that is a willful decision. They 100% knew that that was an op. They are not playing with the AWP. That's the Movistar Riders adaptation to Counter-Strike 2. Martinez is not picking up the big green. Even having a slower game so far. Obviously, he had a good round there with the AK. Not picking up the op. Intriguing. I feel like we're going to see a lot more teams do that.
Maybe. Still figuring it out, a lot of teams as well, how to utilize that orb effectively. And Martinez, wow, lucky to be alive, A, and B, look really clean on the rifles actually on the previous map. So maybe that's part of it, is that it is just a sort of personal thing. Flash comes around for Adam. Nobody spotted, so no frags, but a decent amount of information.
Alex, this is a key part. They're gotta clear him. They do. But Alex still wins that duel despite the peekers, despite so many advantages. He's not even forced off the boost. He'll eventually give it up, but pressure on Eminio here. They want to clear back into him. A little awkward. Eminio gets away with it, but Alex lives. So advantage Movistar Riders in this one. Utility being expunged on the B site. Or expelled, as the case may be. But they haven't gained anything for it. They're still at the bottom of the steps. They seem to be wary that a mid-push could have come through, and for good reason. Look at Mopaz. Kylar reads it. That's a very big find.
That is a huge kill, and now they are really panicked on the Movistar side. Adam's going to make his way back around, but still not sold. Rotations slowly making their way over from that B site. Now starting to bolster over the A side of things instead. Big frag. Alex traded quickly, as is Adam. And, well, Martinez, what are you going to get done there, really, with that time? That is so tough. 10 seconds left on the clock before they get that bomb down. Just a bit more survivability, but they decided to swing the other way and try and catch them while panicked. Just still alive. This could get interesting.
He doesn't have a smoke is the problem. They're going to double up side hall. He just has to clear them. He just has to fight them. Minio's low, though. He's not going to expect the second in the angle. That was Minio's plan. He was baiting to set up Key. That's nicely done there from 9. Hell of a way to get back on the board. Was looking tough early on after Alex wins that exchange in mid. But the Mopaz effect. The push into Z. Gets caught. Gives it up. They'll be able to fully buy back in, so it's not full disaster stations just yet. But let's just say we're starting to edge close to the precipice.
Maybe could be a return in there for Movistar, but yeah, not the result that they wanted, particularly in a round that looked winnable. Not totally winnable, not absolutely should be winnable, but they were in a good spot for a hot minute. We'll see. Adam, big fight coming in. They love this flash on that Movistar Riders side of things. A little bit of a new one for CS2, I feel like. And it's perfect. Meanwhile, out towards that B-stairs area. Should have been a double in for Mopaz, but you feel like there has been enough damage. It comes so early as well that Alex is just around the corner. Bomb not really committing with Hades here. So we'll see. This could get, a bit fruity. Big frag from that bomb carrier. He will slowly make his way over towards A, but again, still not quite committing, just splitting the defense as best they can.
Gotta get the flowers to Minio. It's been incredible this map. On that smoke fade, Hades is ready for it, ready for Alex's play. So now it comes down to the clutch for Martinez. And the bomb's gonna make its way over to join Hades full control on the site, and he knows it. Martinez has a choice about how he wants to approach this. Try and go for the stairs. Certainly need to attempt this clutch. They're low, so there's opportunity here. But a deep smoke making his life difficult. Minio is holding the angle, but he's been occasionally checking back over, so it's not rock solid. Up on the right, this could be spicy. Actually, he's got the first. Spots the second, I think. Knows where he is. Knows where he is. It's all on Minio. Gave him some praise earlier. He's got to seal the deal here. Minio on the swing, and he's done exactly that. The captain, the IGL, the man who normally takes a back seat to his teammates. He's doing it all himself here on Vertigo.
Impeccable patience. I think that's what that comes down to. Could have gone for the swing. Obviously attempted to get the trade in there, but once he missed that, he just stands still. He's got to come to me. The bomb is very far gone. There is no need to give him the frag here, and it puts the pressure on the opposition. Really, really well played in the 1v1 there, and I think another opportunity for Movistar Riders to get themselves on the board. They flounder it, and it's now starting to become a problem, isn't it? 9 obviously moving up to 7 here, which feels very similar to where like 10 was at. It's solid, but it is also a key turning point that if you get more than 7, you're in a really, really, really good spot. So Movistar Riders will be looking to recover back this half. Probably not going to start here, unfortunately. There was maybe money to go for a desperation rifle by some fat asses, but they are opting to go for a full strength in the next round. Nothing coming of this one. Easy towards middle, and that will indeed be an 8-4-9.
It's a tough one. Maybe you sneak away a gun here, give yourself something, but you're just in the waning moments of the half. How much of a difference is that really going to make? Never feels good when you're down, you know, and the 10th round is on the board. To be thinking about the small victories. Not a good time at all. And 9 showing just so much patience, gives you a minute to stew. in your own failure in this round. Just a minute to wait you out. Let things simmer down. See if you're going to make a play. See if there's going to be a stack. They just methodically clear on towards A. Nobody's home. A round secured. So what's the solution? What's the play here? Aggression hasn't necessarily worked, though they've tried it on the lesser buys. They've had some decent early exchanges, but it feels like the patience from 9, as much as it was hurting them at times on Ancient, is working beautifully here on Vert.
Yes, it definitely feels like the mid-rounding is where things are changing. Movistar riders just have to be slightly more aware of where they're leaving gaps. They've been quite susceptible to flanks, to late fights in the round, right? Whether it's on ramp with a lurker, something along those lines. They've just, 9 have just like put the brakes on quite a lot when they're in these 3v3s or even 4v3s against them. And they've just played very, very smart around forcing errors from Movistar riders. So I think that they just have to be a bit more disciplined, a bit more aware of the map, and like I say, where those gaps are in particular.
Well, they'll have everything available to them in this one. Mopaz is hesitating for a moment. Makes me think, yeah, okay, here comes the AWP. Not going to toss that over to Martinez, so it's Mopaz playing with the AWP.
He's going for a spawn peek towards mid.
I don't mind it. Gonna lock down mid, be able to play in towards the B site. It's been B that's been under siege for so many of these rounds. Adams gets a kill early down the A ramp. That helps alleviate pressure, and just he spotted presence. He can't overcommit here. Can't overcommit. Needs to get the Molotov down. It's a little late even. They're out. They are out. And the doors are blown off. It's been such a struggle to deal with these B takes from 9. And I mean, at this point, Movistar now saddled with an AWP to attempt a retake. Tough ask, but Menio loses track of his presence, leaves himself exposed to the elevator peak, and this could be on. The health is low for Hades as well. Flashbang's lethal, and Kylar holds the line, looking for more, maybe doing it. Little server hesitation, but it's Goofy all the way, and at this point, Martinez locked out. Looking like he's not got a chance. I'll make a move, but there's an AWP posted on his angle. This should not be viable. But the smoke, ironically, gives him a chance. Time is running low, though. So Martinez is going to have to back away. He knows it. He cannot contest for this round.
It's just... It's like the exact same as the last, but the team not strong. With all these wild plays, all the almost desperation that comes in, right? So it's just on the B-bomb site. He does everything well. He gets that nade down, gets the Molotov down, but then he swings, and there's not much need to do that, right? Just let them into the site, go for the retake. And then I saw them running through the smoke. The first thing I did, I looked at the bomb time. The bomb had only been down for like 2 seconds. There's no need for them to go flying through the smoke. You can just wait for them to dissipate and then pull off your move. And if anything, the 9 positions are more vulnerable then. They are not to know that, but it would have worked out really well if they just waited for those smokes to go down. So it just feels like Movistar riders are needlessly throwing themselves into some of these situations.
I think that's fair. I think everyone's trying to play a little bit of hero because they know they need it. Adams will find Hades. Completely lost track of the rifler. He tucked in. Hades. Not quite realizing that, but they've got full control of B. This is real weird. There's still a player coming up the stairs, and Just will clear that up. So now Kylar, he went back to get the bomb, but he's got everything to cover, and finally, a round will go right for the Movistar Riders just in time for the half.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Second half underway. 9 live up to their name this time. But just like on Ancient, we get that one final little bit of sweetness as Movistar Riders actually do manage to bring over the final round of the half. Now, is 3 enough? Can't say I fancy their chances, but stranger things have occurred. Speaking of strange things, the A site going to be solely defended by Hades as they've just made their way all the way through mid with no resistance. Bomb down, very weird post plant for 9 to now try and contend with.
And Key is in a really difficult spot with these dualies. Alex actually finds a big double there that I think we will nullify this flank. They're able to just press the attack in towards that one. He has a real job on his hands, and he falls flat. Does get a couple, the only one to finally kills for his team. But the round, indeed, goes the way of Movistar Riders. So, step 1 complete. Now, we have to survive the follow-up round. It doesn't look like it's going to be a force buy from 9, but this is something that they failed to do in the first half. So, looking to get some momentum. That's what they really lacked, I think, on the defensive side of things.
They did indeed. But I mean, yeah, this is both pistol rounds claimed, so Star Riders not a lot to show for it so far, but you're right, that reset in the first half was brutal. Still there on the T side now. Not nearly as much of a risk. Don't have to fear the rifles purchased up. Full stack on the A site. Mid push as well coming through from Minio just to try and keep them hemmed in perhaps. And right now this is decently set up for it by the Movistar side. It's a shooting gallery. They knew the play. They knew that particular one in the 9 playbook. And they were ready. Minio, God play USP? No.
Unlucky. I think we wanted a little more, perhaps, from the USP, but it's all good. They're onto this early buy. Certainly not going to be the most comfortable, though. It is, I feel, somewhat viable on the T side. On the CT side, you are still in this awful limbo of do we force, don't we? Neither direction is really that great. So, yeah, you can see a severe lack of utility here.
Okay, gonna eat that nade, wants to swing off of it. This is cool. Now, he's actually in the side hall. Don't think they're gonna read this. This could be the play. This could be the play. He's watching for him. He's got one, but the trade is instant. Still, advantage for the moment onto 9. Martinez can't zero that in. Trying to play around the smoke, and this is disastrous. The A-ramp fight, they fully committed into it, and 9 have just had a better step on them every bit of the way.
Yeah, it just feels like they're trying to bring the same energy from that first map still, where it felt like they were winning every single gunfight, you know, and defying the odds. 2Ks here, 3Ks there. Just had none of that on this map, but they're still employing the same sort of logic. Wild. Absolutely wild. And yeah, I don't know how I feel for this third map. To be honest, it's not the best for Movistar Riders. Definitely looks like we're headed there, unfortunately for them. So they're going to have to clean up their act fast.
I did watch Movistar Riders get 13-0'd on Overpass in the first week of CS2 play. It was not the first 13-0 in CS2 competitive history. It was the second, however. So, don't know that I fancy Overpass.
Yeah, there was one out in... I remember seeing that. There was one out in South America, right? It was the first
in Impact, yeah. South American Impact had the first. We thought we'd set a record. Was not to be. Really is wigging me out, this mini-map bug where we just see a little flame floating in nowhere.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. What are you gonna do, you know?
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, we gotta work with it for a bit. That's a nice pickup.
It is indeed. Goofy, you gotta be careful about popping that utility out here. Minute 10. What are they going to do with this? Oh, no. Disaster. Shutdown. They gained so much space in towards mid. Look at it. Look at where those players falter, but it just didn't give them anything. They get caught. Minio and Goofy lured them into the trap and then shut it on them. And now, Just body after body dropping, all left to a very wounded Mopaz. Very unfortunate round for Movistar. You come into the 5v4 and you just gain nothing for it. All that room in the mid, can't find the fights, can't find the kills, and that might have just been their last chance tripping down the drain on this map.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way, to be honest. Just shooting gallery for 9, though, isn't it? All too easy. And it really shouldn't be, but Movistar Riders kind of showing one of the issues that we have talked about. Their shallow map pool. They really do struggle on some of the maps at the moment, particularly moving into CS2. I think it is what is costing them so many games at the moment in the online space. They have a good Ancient. Their nuke is okay. Beyond that, they really are struggling. So, and with nuke being a perma here for 9, you got one map. And they look good on it, but we may well see them dry up as this series goes on, to be honest. Yeah. The mad thing to think when you look at the 5 rounds, that includes 2 pistols, which in CS2, we're absolutely saying if you win both pistols, you should be really in contention. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Sure, they didn't convert one of them, but still. Really need to play with the rifles.
Absolutely. You're spot on with that one. This is just one of those where you have been simply outclassed in every gun round. And it's looking like that may be all she wrote. One last desperate investment available to them this round. Mac 10's fast play. I mean, look, stranger things have happened, but I think it's time to get ready for overpass. Movistar Riders limp in this one, and the Vertigo specialists of 9 once again find the magic. It's like they have, I don't know, some sort of a Vertigo buff. They become stronger here. The layer bonus. Get special actions. Shoot head. Only unlockable when they're in their special spot on Vert. I'm telling you, man, it's all about the Hypnotist. They bring in the Hypnotist, 9 #1 in the world.
I think it could be possible. We talked about the finances of it, but at the same time, it's probably worth it to start winning events. Yeah. And how much?
You make one more major, it's worth it, right?
Surely, how much a sports psychologist costs you? Like, there can't be much difference. To be fair, those guys are expensive. So, you know, why not try the different avenue? Because
remove the sports psychologist, bring in the Hypnotist.
Yeah.
Oh, just if he gets that kill, suddenly there's a chance. But no, instead they're funneled in towards A. Fast play on. Hades down. Uh-oh. Something cooking here. A little bit of juice, a little bit of heat. The animal back to the corner is at its most dangerous. Movistar Riders are finding their fangs right here.
Yeah, it's going to be a long road. If only they could have started this a couple rounds ago. Again, the big thing that has escaped them is the momentum. So I am certainly not holding my breath. I hate to be the party pooper of this situation, but that's exactly who I am going to be. I do feel that 9 should still be able to clean this one up. You also have to look at these half-buy type rounds. I guess, you know, they've full spent, but in terms of where the guns are at, not very good, obviously. The rules of engagement are very different. And like you say, the caged animal, I think, certainly is showing what it's capable of, but surely runs out of energy quite quickly. I think this should still be an easy road for the 9 boys.
We're certainly not worried about them stumbling just yet. There's a bump. Bump in the road. Not a pothole yet. No burst tires. No broken down car. No real concern in the moment. But a timeout used at least. 3rd of 30 for Movistar Riders. If you're not familiar with the new timeout rules, the way that shifted is that you get 3 over the course of the game, and then in overtime, if you reach overtime, you get 1 for each period of overtime. So instead of having 4 in general, no reset in overtime, now you get that reset in overtime. I really do like the shift.
Yeah, I'm certainly a fan. I think that also 4 timeouts in the base game of regulation maybe felt like a bit much if a team does end up using all 4. but then you are also, yeah, like you say, shafted if you move into overtime in that sense, and it definitely should help with the fact that overtimes often feel just wild compared to where the regulations are, right? The pace really picks up and it gets a bit silly, maybe having a timeout there to allow teams to take things a bit slower and talk over some strategy. Big fight from King of the Smoke. Nearly in for a bit more, to be fair to him, but eventually stopped. The heads are rolling. Movistar Riders still looking to brute force things in the same way they have in the earlier rounds in this half. However, it appears they are hitting their shots a little bit better this time around.
I gotta say, what I really don't like from 9 is this side hall peek with the ult from Hades. It's a very tough angle to make work. I understand if they don't go for the fast play, if they don't take the space, then you've got a great angle into forklift. But if they do, as we've now seen from Movistar 2 rounds in a row, if they do, you're at such a disadvantage against the wide swinging ability, the mobility of the rifle. That was the messiest way to close that round, but it is indeed closed, and all's well that ends well. As the Riders close the gap to 5. Where's the money at? You could justify halving this one, actually, if you're 9. You could get a lot around. It would be a damn good half. But I could see Minio dropping maybe some SMGs for Kylar and Key, and them keeping the money above 2K.
Possible.
No, they're going in.
All right. This is where it gets a bit scary, dog. They still have the timeouts available on their side, but money starting to run out. And, yeah, it becomes a real enemy and sort of the hidden enemy as well. You know, you buy into this round and, yeah, you might have track of the loss bonus, and then you go into the next round and you go, wait a minute. I feel like I should have had more money than this, you know? So you sometimes lose track of where the cash is at, and it can creep up on you very quickly, as it has done here. We had a couple of players on like 9K just a few rounds ago, Minio being one of them, like you said. He spent 7K in this round, and he doesn't even have full utility. So it's already becoming a bit problematic. Movistar Riders win this one. We're probably looking at an easy 8, and then it really puts pressure on 9.
Still sailing in. Mortar strike on Goofy. Love that play. Right, Dupree is just annihilated. Nothing you could do about it. Except back away. Think about the next one. Man, that is just like a aerial bombardment. Nothing that can be done if you've chosen to hang by the white box.
Look for some late aggression here on towards these B stairs. Might catch a couple of players with nades in hand. It could be the move. Oh, unless you take a stray bullet in the noggin.
Okay.
And a lot of team damage was through there. I think maybe from nade, Molotov, either way. Very awkward indeed to start things off into the finish of this game, I suppose. Beginning of the end is what 9 were looking for, and they're only able to achieve 1 round. Movistar Riders certainly making this scary.
I'm starting to believe a little bit. You know? I'm starting to believe. This is going to be pistols. Very little to put around it. Maybe a flashbang. I don't know. Gonna be a 3-round gap by the time the rifles come up. It won't be a perfect rifle buy either, I don't think. There's something to this. There's some legs. Are you a believer yet?
Not yet. Not yet. Give me one more rifle and I'm a believer.
Okay. More rifle round. That is always the interesting question of where do you need to get back to in a comeback for it to be valid in CS2. This round, whatever threat was in it has been removed. Barring Minio going off with a P250, I'd say they might be all right, even if Martinez gets naded by his teammate. Goodbye, Minio. Smoke pop. And he's dropped.
stressful now. I mean, I'm feeling the pressure, you know, and I'm not in the game. I'm not in the server. So
Yeah.
I think especially for a team like Nine, these are the moments that they can really struggle in, right? So many flashbacks available for this team to try and keep themselves present. Thank God it is on their home map of Vertigo, but all the same, this is starting to weigh up now, isn't it, really? Those bullets were damn close. Kylar even takes some damage, man. One of them could have landed in his face. Decent nade. Just has to be careful of the player just around the corner, but for now, he is playing it well.
Look out, but Cement, they know he's there, so there's the swing. But a utility flashbangs to set it up. That's very well done from Nine. And it might be just enough. They have the edge now. Kitty just goes looking, just goes fishing. A little over-ambitious, perhaps, but still he has kept it an advantage for his teammates. And the A-ramp control has been stymied. Movistar Riders, they've come within spitting distance. One more round would make this a game, but they're sputtering now. It's a tank running on empty.
Maybe. Oh, bro. Yo, do we need to do that? Do we need to do that?
Very atypical.
Yeah. That's crazy. Particularly of the leading voice in this team. You wouldn't expect him to go for a move like that. Hades still around. Not in a bad spot. Oh, you might have a check. Alex goes for the half check. 20 seconds, though, man. Hades could finish this round if he gets good timing. Will he be distracted by everything that's going on behind him? Doesn't matter. Alex clotheslines him round the corner. Bomb going to go in. Man advantage back in favor of Movistar Riders. Goofy falls on the flank, and it is all down to Kylar, who is moving forwards to go for it, hoping an opportunity presents itself, but it's never really that easy. His head's surely going to be spotted in just a second here. Now he thinks about making it out. He will make it across somehow with 3 players ready to take him out. All the same, Movistar's round.
Doesn't even have a kit. Even if he was going to attempt this, I don't know why he's even sticking around the same zip code. He thinks he's going to be chased once that first kill, but keeping them on the bomb doesn't matter. That is the worst of both worlds. I don't know what the logic is there to stick around that far. Even if you kill all of them, it does not matter. They have plenty of cash. They're a T side. They got the bomb down. You're eco. Ay, that's disastrous. Should have pulled the cord when it was 2 alive. Certainly late. I mean, they just don't have the money for this. They're going to have to eco this. It's going to be 1 gun round to keep this out of overtime. This is an absolute collapse out from 9. And it starts with Minio pushing the ramp solo. Just so unnecessary in a man-up situation. That's really inexcusable mental error. I thought Movi were out of it.
I
thought that one was done.
Yeah, definitely. And then Minio. Oh, yo. Like, a team that are known for some of their mental struggles, and the in-game leader goes off and does... Oh, honestly, it could really make the difference. We could have just seen the crumble. However... Go for something a bit different here. Flash goes round. Oh, just going to find them both. All 3, in fact. Lovely. Well held. I envision that being disastrous, to be honest with you.
The fate of the world now is going to hang on a single round. Kyla left to think about this one. Whatever they're calming, whatever they're communicating, they better have an ace in the hole in the back pocket for this one. Domination on Vertigo just gone awry. Completely awry. This will be the 6th round in a row for the Movistar Riders. Unreal. It looked like they were going to be completely shut out of this. 5-12, and now they're in with a chance. What do we even have for the economy? The op can come back out. Presumably it will for Hades. I don't know that it's exactly been brilliant. And yeah, okay, he opts to go for the rifle instead. The op has not been feeling it. And he's been solid with the M4 in hand. So what have we got here? 9. What is your grand strategy to keep this out of OT?
Isn't that the million-dollar question? Oh, man alive. Just one more, guys. You know? Both teams. That's all. Will be in their head. Just one more. We've done it before. Been a while for 9. Movistar Riders in the groove. So surely. It's so very difficult for all these two teams. Hard to split Movistar Riders with hell of a comeback already. I think we will still see a space, even if they lead at 9. Meanwhile, particularly if they drop this map that absolutely should have been theirs. Unbelievable that we are even this close. Nate goes onto the smoke. He unable to find anything. A little bit of leg damage onto Mopos.
Cars moving up in mid. Goofy's caught a big kill. That should embolden them, and the Molotov comes in at a critical time to slow this mid take up. Neo's gonna have his hands full, but he's been fantastic.
Oh, great
the
flash.
flashbang. Yeah, that's tough. Very fortunate to get away with his life there.
Look at them.
Actually, they've backed off of this.
Yeah,
Taking all this focus, they've left.
You almost look at like the panic from 9 though. They feel the flash, sort of spot them, and then all of a sudden there's like 4 players in and around mid. So they are not taking any chances on this one. They will pull away from mid quite quickly though. Oh, Kylar, great spot for info, man. More damage dished out, but just so much information coming in. He's got support at the back of the site. The nade usage here from 9 is nigh on perfect. Late smoke. Oh, it's beautiful. Adam, the big fan of the video. Kylar has to be very careful. Adam going to get another one as well. There's no way they are about to squeeze in. They've got to know that Kylar is around. They've got to know. Oh, God. Bomb plant coming in. Alex gets a gift as he jumps out in front of him. 4 versus 2. Hades and Key to hold the game together in regulation. It is all that is left. We are gobsmacked to even be here within this round, let alone the context of the game. And it would be quite something if these two players could wrestle it back. Adam will continue being the hero of the round, leading it all down to Hades. Surely not a chance on this. He's working his way around through this gen. Makes it past step 1. Can't make it past step 2. We are going to overtime. I am just unbelievable. I just don't know what to say.
Collapse is the only word that can describe what we've just witnessed. In this round. This round is a microcosm for this map. 9 were playing so damn well. Getting the pick, getting the advantage, stalling out with utility. Smoke goes down at the perfect time. Flash goes out at the perfect time. There was even an HE to follow it up. Kylar, you know he was planning on dumping that, except that with 5 players alive, somehow, Nouns, I've been watching too much NA, 9 allow Adams right up over into mid, into B. How does he get that far? You have so many bodies alive. You know the pressure's on the B site. Such a blunder. Such an absolute blunder there. And again, Alex is going to be through mid. They're just getting so much space here. There's no reason for this. They've gained the B site again. Kylar, look, he's not getting good numbers, but how are you supposed to play B like this?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I think it is official. Movistar Riders have found the magic potion. And it is working. They have sold their souls to get the 2-0. Not quite there yet, but the way that things are looking, the momentum they have behind them, and the struggle 9 are having right now just goes to show some of the big issues that this team have.
Look at Molotov. I mean, even if he kills the 2 on site, which he won't do, there was no world where he'd expect Molotovs on the flank. It's just unreal. At this point, 9, it's about their heads, right? They're in their heads. They are suffering. They need some sort of a hero play, some sort of a big moment to turn this one around. Somebody's got to pop off. Someone's got to get loud. Someone's got to hit the reset button on their mental. Because right now, they're just getting swept up in the momentum of Movistar Riders. This is now 8 rounds in a row won by the Movistar Riders.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I think it'd be 9. I think it would be 9. Trying to think. No, they went 8, 4, 1. The pistol.
They won 8 in a row. They won 7 in a row to close regulation. Because it was 12-5. Yep. Okay. I have succeeded at counting. Don't have to go back to kindergarten yet.
I was just trying to go back into memory bank. You know. Yeah. One of the. I like the VMix, but not having a scoreboard sometimes makes it a bit difficult to keep track of where rounds are at. So
the secret is you get multiple monitors and you throw the HLTV ticker up on the other.
Sure. I'm just waiting for
Secret
it to
trick.
catch up. You're a smart guy. Well, let's see.
Tools of the trade, man.
Who's going to be the smartest on the server here? Between these
Again,
two
they're going to
teams.
pressure B. Why not? This time there's a third player hedged over, though. They've got the bodies. Goofy, he's been playing it aggressive, and Kylar's able to strike. So this time, it holds. 9 were shifting more and more and more resources over to defend B. They had to. And this time, it seems to have held. Not done yet, certainly. And once again, Adams. Look at all the space he's gained towards mid. The late lurk up. The skeleton key to this round. It's not done yet. The 8 players are dynamically pushed, but having seen nothing all the way back down, they're not making the move. Minio has to clear this. Oh, and he does so. Great processing from Minio, identifying where the player had to be. It's all on the Mopaz, and this would be truly, truly incredible. Even to have enough time to punch the numbers in. You know, he's going to give himself a chance. The flank is late. Key's been really patient on it. Mopaz eventually has to be looking for this, right?
Yeah, but he's just banking on getting the frag, isn't he? There it is, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough in that 1 versus 3 B-bomb site. You have to commit to one, I guess, and he was kind of in between both. I would have loved to see him go flying down those B stairs, right, and just take that control, play around the bomb, but then it's really hard to get back on if they've got a smoke. So I would argue that the B-bomb site Vertigo, one of the hardest to clutch from in the game, to be honest, when you're in that 1v/VX, particularly a 1v3 like that with a flank coming in.
Fun shadow. Goofy collects. High fives the shadow, goes in for the kill. Nice advantage here for 9, but the smoke pop does not work out in Key's favor. Down for the count early, and Movistar have shifted their focus, right? They're back to this A-ramp fight. It didn't treat them very well. Much of regulation. Now they're looking to roll the dice again, and once again, Adams is up in mid.
Oh,
Goofy looking for this. Goofy not gonna get it. Now the map is bisected. It's all on the shoulders of Minio. Somehow he finds himself in the driving seat again, but this time traded out. And Kylar, they know where he is. He's been the B anchor all game long. And a hopeless retake is now expected of him. He'll have to try it. It's the last round of this half of OT. But how can he possibly be expected to come up with anything here?
These annoying ass slow peaks, man. These crab peaks that Movistar riders are putting. I would hate to be on the other end of those. You know, they're just wild.
Adams, the backstab, makes a hash of that one. Still time so short. Mopaz just holding the nade, pressuring on Kylar. And he's won it on time, if not on bullets. On bullets, it will be Movistar Riders pull into the lead for the first time since the first half pistol round on this map of Vertigo. They have been down and out the entire length of the way. But now, Harvey, they just need 2 rounds to claim this series.
Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely incredible to see. And definitely what we wanted to tune in for this evening. We did say in the pre-game that these two teams certainly have the potential to beat each other. Certainly, as we are seeing, have the potential to bring it close. And the first map didn't deliver in that sense, but the second map definitely is giving us a game. And a fantastic one, to be honest. One of the better games that I have seen. Although 9 are slipping, I think that the way in which these two teams have performed at their best has looked brilliant. Double nade doesn't find the frag, but does take Adam S low. He decides to go creeping round. You got to respect it to a certain point. It's the AWP that takes him out. Doesn't matter if he's low there or not. The trade is quick and the trade is fresh. Alex sat in behind. This could be huge. Oh, there's a player.
Do they check
out
it? They don't check it. They don't check it, but likewise, Martinez isn't expecting it. What is happening here? Alex now dropped down by the AWP. Somehow that works out for 9.
What a mess. What a mess. Maybe the way that 9 want to employ things here in overtime. It's obviously been a long while since they've been on that T side, and they just come in nice and aggressive, chilling here. Missed shot from Hades, though. Mopos lucky to be alive. Still on this AWP. They have to be wary of him on the A-bomb site and what he can get done from here.
And he's thunder stomping, so they got some information as well. Rotation hasn't come over either. Just wary that it could be a late rotate from 9. They know how patient 9 likes to play, and now they're really wary of mid having been a problem.
Mopos gets smoked out. That's the big issue. There's a flash round for him to get aggressive. The Molotov, though, keeping him at bay. It's a nice little move. Hades has a flick to last here. And he's going to get it. Goofy finds Mopos on the edge of the smoke as well. 14-14. We are most certainly back on.
We are indeed. Anyone's game now. A hold your breath moment on the A ramp. I think that's a little bit of divine providence maybe coming in for 9. Tipping the scale in their favor. But they've still got to be able to capitalize on it now. They did dominate on their own T side of this map, right? Remember, it was 10-2. 9-3. I'm misremembering. 9-3.
Yeah.
But it was brutality. Still from Movistar. They were down and out. They were trying to recover the economy. That's not an issue here in OT. Just got to get her done with the guns. Mopos away from the AWP. They're not messing with that this time. Full rifles. Boost up. Boost up to the danger panel. This is going to be interesting. Kyla's up and over. Putting pressure on it just. The molly misses. Kyla's posted on this, but is he calling for more util? They have a pretty good read that just is here, it seems. But he doesn't have to move a muscle.
That Molotov could cost them. However, Mopos gives them a head to pick at.
Do they overlook this now?
Yeah, they're unsure. Molotov goes down. Alex in a decent spot to really act as a distraction. They're actually
leaving.
Pulling the bomb away, though. Oh, and a great flash around for Kylar to just keep attention on that B bomb site. Just going to go
left.
peeking around. He sees that nobody is here, but still, surely, numbers-wise, they've done enough.
They don't know he's here. They're bringing the bomb back over. They're bringing the bomb. Just, ooh, chaos, pandemonium. The bomb isn't with Kylar. Kylar now knows he's sectioned off, and this could be it. This could be it. But Goofy still finds kills somehow, some way. They brought this down to a 2v2. It's going to be a pinch on the site. Martinez setting up utility, but it's a little late to deny the bomb. Damage onto Goofy, though, is good. And Adams, meanwhile, taking advantage of that pandemonium to get up on the flank. This is... This feels like it could be the map. This 2v2 could be everything. Adams making his way up the steps now. He's just crossed the lip. They're sectioned up by the generator. They're playing together as a duo, but it means they've got to watch 2 ways at once. Goofy down for the count. Kylar soon to follow. Yes, he will. Map point found. Movistar Riders stay the course, and now a chance to close.
That gel between the two of them is just brilliant. The synergy is the overused esports word, but it was perfect. Their timing together had to be on the mark, right? And it really, really was. Martinez takes those first steps, draws the looks, and catching those 2 remaining T players, both of them looking at different angles, right? Nobody supporting each other, and it means, therefore, that the trades can come in. But also, the first peak was from Adam, and he catches the player spinning the wrong way. So Martinez makes all the noise, but he doesn't give his life away. It's just brilliant, and it may be set to continue. Martinez has once again found that special sauce about all that impact he had on the first map. Maybe being a bit quieter here, but a fantastic opener.
It is indeed. It's been interesting to see his role shift up as well in terms of what he's been doing. A lot more aggressive into the fight. Obviously not touching that off at all this map. Is a radical shift. He's going to get another one. The advantage held for Movistar, though Minio gets a little bit of an answer back. The A-ramp fight has been brutal. And the utility's largely gone for Movistar. Actual utility advantage on for 9 in this moment. They're still smoking a flash for Movi to work with, but they're basically going to do this with the guns. A little bit of an awkward smoke. Ooh, just gets caught by it. I'm not sure what exactly that was meant to block off. But the spam through from Mopaz works. It's Goofy in the clutch. It's all on Goofy, and they know where he is. Or they certainly will have confirmation now. So Alex and Mopaz can work together. Goofy, pick your spot. And pick it well.
He has to get this right. Once again, though, the Movistar Riders, they've played the twosome games so very well in the past few rounds. A lot of the situations have come down to just a couple of players remaining on a retake. Pre-fires are around, so he has an idea of where one player is coming from. A little early, but the dink lands. Alex looking for this trade, but he's gone late. He's gone to bait it out. He should have gone swinging around.
He's still got time. He's got time
here. Oh, my goodness. He gets to that bomb quite late. It's going to be close. I think he's good, though. Looking at the bars, I think he's good. And he gets it over. Goodness me. So close to finish once again. In terms of the defuse, for sure. But obviously, in terms of that scoreline, insanity. Absolute insanity. What is that? 2 rounds in like 12 from 9? And one of those occurs... No, 2 of those, sorry, occurring in the overtime. So their regulation game just went in the toilet.
I mean, that's. Whoa, we're gonna talk about that one if you're in the 9 camp for a long time. That's they're the Vertigo Kings. This is supposed to be their home ground, and it's very clear if you watch that collapse, if you watch how different the 2 maps are for them, that a lot of the problems for this 9 team are psychological, right? Once they start losing, it gets bad real quick, and they just do not have the wherewithal to bring it back. Hugely unfortunate. Absolute catastrophe for 9. That's going to be so disappointing. But for the Movistar Riders, phenomenal play, right? What we want to see from them, adapting to the new game, a lot more dynamic, staying away from the AWP, which is interesting, especially on Vertigo. But a great game on Ancient, crazy gritty comeback there on Vertigo, and the 2-0 at the end of the day. It's been a great day for the Movistar Riders. That's going to wrap up our broadcast, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you later for the NA ECL action. But for now, good night, everybody.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
break up, don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat.